Hello again, my friends. I'm so excited to be back with you guys with another fun lesson on social and emotional learning. This week's lesson is managing frustration. What is frustration? Have you guys ever had an assignment that you just could not understand and you kept trying and trying, or maybe even trying to ride a bicycle? And you kept getting on and trying to pedal, but you kept falling off. Do you remember that feeling you had? That was frustration, like you wanted to give up, but you knew you couldn't, and you knew you wanted to do whatever you were doing. That's frustration. But we all get frustration, but how do we manage it? What does it mean to manage our frustration? Because we know we get mad and upset if we can't do anything, but we have to learn how to control those emotions, which is managing frustration. We can't just scream and yell and throw our hands up in the air. We have to know how to control our feelings when we are frustrated. Maybe take a big deep breath, count to 10, and tell ourselves, I can do it. I can do it. And that might help us feel better. So today's lesson is how to manage our frustration. And we'll be going over things to help you guys. But first, I want to get started and waking up our brains, doing a little game. Remember, we played this last time. It's called Count and Clap. Well, clap and count. I will be clapping and slapping my legs. I'll either be clapping, remember, or slapping. I'm going to try to change it up on you. And you guys don't have to do the clapping. Remember, you're just counting, so you have to be listening. You're using your listening skills, okay? So give me a thumbs up if you're ready to play. All right, let's go. How many times did I clap? Good job, 3 times. How many times did I clap my hands and slap my knees? Good job. 2 times for clapping and 3 times for slapping my knees. Good job. Okay, which one did I do first? I changed it up a little bit. Yes, good job. I did my knees. And how many times did I slap my knees? 2 times. And then what did I do next? Yes, I clapped my hands 3 times. Good job, you guys. That tells me you guys were listening and focusing with your eyes. Good job. So let's go ahead and get started on today's lesson. So remember, last week's lesson, we needed to focus our eyes on people's body language to tell us about their feelings. Or if we were having some type of feeling inside, we needed to express that to an adult to help us fix that situation. But remember, this week's lesson is how to handle strong feelings, which is being frustrated. It's a strong feeling. So I kind of talked about a little bit in the beginning, some things you could maybe do to help your frustration. Now, I first want to see some hands up in the air if you guys have ever felt frustrated about anything. It doesn't matter what it is, okay? So show me those hands if you've been frustrated. Let me see them. Yes, I see those hands coming up because we've all been frustrated. Even Miss Thompson, I've been frustrated at times too, but I have to know how to handle that. I can't just scream and yell, remember? No. So now that I know that you guys have had a time where you have been frustrated, I want to know how you guys handled it or if you even knew how to handle it. Okay, so I'm going to put on my timer for you guys and I want you guys to think about it, okay? Because I saw those hands come up, so I know there's been a time where you guys have been frustrated. Now I want to hear about it, okay? Remember, you're telling me when you were frustrated and why. And did you do anything to handle it? And if you didn't, that's okay because we're learning how to handle it. Okay, so here comes my timer. Start thinking. Okay, guys, go ahead and share. Let's hear it. I loved hearing all your guys' responses. And every frustration was different. Okay? Some was maybe about a homework assignment. Maybe some was learning how to play a new game. And I did hear some of you didn't know how to handle the frustration. And maybe your parents got upset because you were so upset and they didn't know what was going on. You weren't expressing your feelings, but that's okay. Remember, we're learning that right now. And then I also heard some friends that maybe got frustrated playing a new game on their Nintendo or outside with their cousins, and they had to express to whoever they were with, I don't know how to play. Can you please help me? Please help me understand how to play. So it took practice, you guys said, and after so many times of practicing and expressing your frustration inside, you guys were able to accomplish what you were trying to do. And that makes me so, so happy. But remember, if you didn't know how to handle the frustration, it's okay. We're all learning. I'm an adult and I still sometimes have to remind myself, okay, you're frustrated. It's okay. How am I going to fix it? So it's okay that you guys don't always know how to handle that as well, because remember, why? Yes, we're learning, you guys. We're learning. So yes, I loved hearing all the different problems you guys had happened to you, but some of you knew how to handle it, which is amazing. And some of you struggled a little bit, but remember, that's okay. So now we're going to get started on a story. So get ready to listen. So this is Caleb in the photo beside me. So he's sitting in his classroom and he's doing a writing assignment. First, the teacher had the students draw a picture of what they wanted to write about. And then once they were finished drawing their picture, then they started to write. Every teacher does it different. Some have you write first and then draw your picture, but Caleb's teacher wanted him to express his writing through his artwork first and then write how the picture was. So, by looking at this photo, what can we tell by Caleb? What's going on? Remember, we're looking at his body language. What can you guys come up with how Caleb feels right now? Go ahead and look at the picture, you guys. Yeah, Caleb looks upset. He looks super frustrated and not happy. So the reason why Caleb is not happy, he's having a hard time expressing what he wants to say in words. He was able to do it in a picture, but he's just having a hard time putting it into sentences. He kept writing, and then he didn't like what he was writing, so he would erase it, and he repeated this over and over. You remember, he was trying to write his sentences, but just didn't like how it was coming out, so he kept erasing. Because he kept erasing so much, he put a hole in his paper. So he was really frustrated because he had just drawn this beautiful picture, but he wasn't able to express his story using words, and he accidentally put a hole in his paper. So how do you guys think he feels even now? Yes, he is just so frustrated and not happy right now. So what do you think Caleb did next? What can you guys tell by the photo? What did Caleb do with his paper? Yeah, he crumbled it up into a ball. He was done. But is that how we handle our problems? Crumbling it up and saying, I'm done, I'm not doing it? Is that how we handle our frustration? Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. Thumbs up, you agree. You just crumble up your paper and you're done. Or thumbs down, you do not agree with that's how we handle our frustration. Yeah, you guys are right. I should see thumbs down because we do not handle our frustration like that. That's just not what we do. Yes, we can get upset about it and be frustrated, but we have to ask for help because remember in the last lesson, we have to express our feelings to an adult to help us. So yes, this is what Caleb should have done. He should have raised his hand and then his teacher would have come over to help him and he would need to express, I'm having a hard time writing my sentences to match my photo. Could you please help me? By doing this, his teacher would have helped him, and he would not have crumbled up his paper. Because now that he's crumbled it up, he's giving himself more work. Now he has to redo his picture and still write his sentence. So remember, being able to manage your frustration makes a big difference, because if he would have managed his frustration, would he have given himself more work? No, he wouldn't have. Good job, you guys. Yes. So in the photo, Caleb was frustrated because he was having a hard time expressing himself using his sentences, which resulted in crumbling up his paper. And remember, that's not how we manage our frustration. Good job, you guys. Now that we've learned about Caleb and his frustration, let's go back to our frustration. Remember, in the beginning of the lesson, we talked about there was a time where you guys have felt frustrated about anything. And if you guys managed your frustration or you guys did not. What we did not touch bases on is how you felt inside of you. Because remember, you're not giggly and happy when you're frustrated. I want you guys to go back to that time, and I want you guys to think about how you felt inside when you had those strong, strong feelings of frustration. And I want you guys to explain to me how that felt inside. Okay? So I'll give you guys a few seconds again, and then I want you guys to share how your feelings of frustration made you feel inside of you. Okay? So get ready for my timer. Ready, go. All right, go ahead and share. Remember, we're not sharing the exact frustration, but I want to know more about the feelings you had inside of you, okay? Let's hear it. Go. Yes, a lot of you had said maybe your heart was pounding fast, maybe your stomach was hurting, your head could have been hurting. Some of you even felt like a little warm inside because you were so upset. Yes, those are what those strong feelings can do to you. And sometimes they can even make you feel sick in your tummy. And that's why we do not want that, because when we're not expressing all that anger and frustration, it's being kept inside of us, which is causing us, like you guys said, your heads were hurting a little bit, your heart was pounding fast, your stomach was hurting, and we don't want to feel that way. Because when we express it, it releases all those bad energies inside of us. And when we express it, we're going to feel better. So I'm glad you guys were able to identify those feelings inside of you, because we're not happy when we're frustrated, we're upset, and we're just having a hard time. So good job, you guys. So now that you guys have shared some moments where you guys were frustrated, and we also heard about Caleb and why he was frustrated, I want to practice different scenarios, what would cause us to be frustrated and how we would handle it. So, are you guys ready? Remember, these are made up, so we're just practicing. So are you guys ready to practice some scenarios? All right, clap once. Let's get started. So now you guys are, say, in a Zoom lesson with your teachers, and you guys have a math problem that you just do not understand. Your teacher went over it a few times and you felt like you knew what to do, but your teacher let you guys go and let you guys do the math problem. And you're struggling and you're having a hard time and you just don't get it. What happens? What do? You're frustrated. What do you do to make the situation better? And what do you do to manage your frustration? Yeah, good job, you guys. You guys could try your best and maybe ask a parent or an older sibling that's with you, Or even ask your teacher, raise your hand in Zoom because she can still see you raise your hand. And you can explain to her that you're still having a hard time. You're still focusing. You're still listening, using those listening skills, but you just need a little more practice with her. So that allows her to know you're not just sitting there not wanting to work, that you're having a hard time. You don't understand it. And so she could walk you, or she or he could walk you through the math assignment, and you will feel better when you accomplish it. Good job, you guys. So let's do another one. Say your parents got you your favorite pair of jeans. You've been wanting these jeans. You love them so, so much. Well, you're out on the playground and you tripped and put a hole in them. What would you do on how to handle your frustration? Okay, I've heard a lot of different responses. Good job. Some of you shared that you would tell your parents that you are so, so sorry for putting a hole in your favorite jeans and if you could get a new pair. Some of you even came up with an idea to put a patch where you had a hole in your jeans to maybe add a little more style because you still love those jeans, but you didn't want the hole in your jeans. Good job, you guys. Those were both great ways on how to handle the frustration and fix the problem you guys were in. Good job. That makes me so happy that you guys are learning how to manage your frustration. So this is another lesson that we are concluding on how to manage frustration. And I hope you guys had as much fun as I did. And I hope you guys still continue to manage your frustration or any other types of feelings. Even when you're super happy, you got to know how to manage it and you can't go over the top. So we're always having to manage feelings, good or bad. So I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I hope you guys are managing that frustration. Bye, guys.